I've told you before that I think Cass Sunstein is the most dangerous man in America. But tonight I'd like to introduce you to number 2. The second most dangerous man in America. His name is Don Berwick. NPR called him something of a rock star in health policy circles. That's great because he's your brand new head of Medicare and Medicaid services. Oh, Grandpa, you're going to love this. You probably haven't heard of him because, well, President Obama bypassed the Senate confirmation process and just appointed him to the post. Enough of that pesky conference there in Congress. Now, I want you to know this happens all the time. 99% of presidential appointees are, well, they go through the whole process by the Senate. But there is that wealthiest 1% like him that doesn't go through. The media is no longer interested in this story, which is strange because the media was all over the Berwick appointment when they were concerned about Berwick making it through the appointment process. It's almost like they're doing the bidding of the White House. The Washington Post called Berwick, quote, the most important healthcare reformer you've probably never heard of. There it is. It's great. Oh, boy. They said the chances that he moves smoothly through the process are next to zero. Little did they know. They got a friend in the White House. Post also reported, quote, nominee to lead Medicare Medicaid group may face tough hurdles. New York Times also reported the confirmation fight on Health Cheap. Dr. Berwick faces a long uphill struggle to win Senate confirmation. Reuters, they said he's likely to face a tough confirmation fight in the U.S. Senate. Yeah. Well, why were they so concerned? Well, maybe that he's a revolutionary. Oh boy, did I say that? I did. But so did the Boston Globe. They did a story on Berwick. They called him the revolutionary. They went on to say, the deeper Berwick has gotten into the problem over the last decade, the more radicalized he's become. His conclusion, to save the healthcare system, not Medicare and Medicaid, the healthcare system, it first needs to be blown up. How? That's like to save the free market. I've got to abandon the free market. Oh, and that one's working out well, isn't it? So not only does he want to blow up the best healthcare system in the world, not perfect, but the best in the world, his idea of a fix is to make our system just like Great Britain's healthcare system. He says he is, quote, in love with NHS. He went on to explain it's a global treasure and, quote, it's such a seductress, end quote. Hey, Don, seductress? I think of maybe Angelina Jolie. Oh, yeah. She scares me, but she's a seductress, okay? Britain's healthcare, I'd say about as sexy as, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Not real sexy. Unless you define seductress as pregnant woman being forced to give birth in a hospital corridor. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. After being turned away from 2 other hospitals when they go into labor, like Emma Johnson at the Princess Royal Hospital. Or, if you think you're turned on by this story, think how aroused you're going to be about the story of a 22-year-old man who died of thirst at St. George's Hospital in South London after being neglected by the staff. He called for help. When emergency personnel arrived, they were told by the hospital staff that he was fine. He wasn't. No. Died. If that's your Angelina Jolie, whatever floats your boat, Don, but I ain't crawling into bed with you. You know what I'm saying? Sounds a little Jack Kevorkian to me. Now, here he is giving a pep talk to a British audience, patting them on the back because, hey, they could have done what we did with health care, but no, they didn't. Watch him.
You could have let an unaccountable system play out in the darkness of private enterprise, instead of accepting that a politically accountable system must act in the harsh and admittedly sometimes very unfair daylight of the press, public debate, and political campaigning.
That's not what they did with his appointment.
You could have had a monstrous insurance industry of claims and rules and paper pushing instead of using your tax base to provide a single route of finance.
Oh boy, that sounds I am so hot right now. How about you? The darkness of private enterprise. Oh, wow. Again, what horrible luck President Obama has. Here's another guy that he directly appoints to head up an agency that will disperse more than $800 billion in benefits. That's larger than Denmark, South Africa, and the Israeli economies combined. And again, what horrible luck. He's a global redistribution of wealth socialist guy. Wow. Wow. Remember when I told you last year the health care reform was all about redistribution of wealth? What these bills are about here, this health care stuff, what this is about redistribution of wealth here in America. That's what this is about. This will take money from the poor. It will take good health care and destroy it, and it'll suck nationwide. It's also about destroying businesses and any kind of wealth in this country. Well, the New Yorker, they caught me. There's that story with my big fat face on it. A year ago, they wrote this about me. His ratings have gone up from his bottomless grab bag of fear-mongering and insightful, I don't think they mean that in a good way, insightful comments about the coming redistribution of wealth. Oh, what fear-mongering! What could I have possibly been thinking? We need to clear that up, right from the horse's mouth, from the guy who Obama has just appointed the head of Medicare and Medicaid. He'll straighten this out. Don Berwick, let's hear it for Don.
Any health care funding plan that is just, equitable, civilized, and humane must redistribute wealth from the richer among us to the poorer and the less fortunate. Excellent health care is by definition redistributional.
Do I need to say any more? I mean, I think that pretty much puts me in my place, doesn't it? Now, how does the president respond to this blatant socialist running our healthcare system? Oh, that's next. All right, the president has just skipped the confirmation process for Donald Berwick, an expert in healthcare rationing. He's called for it. He said, we have to do it. Okay, that's cool. But I was told that we wouldn't have to worry about that under Obamacare. In fact, do you remember when the president said this?
I recognize there is an underlying fear here.
Yes.
That people somehow won't get the care they need. You will have not only the care you need, but also the care that right now is being denied to you.
Here's Berwick on rationing. Quote, the decision is not whether or not we will ration care. The decision will be whether we ration care with our eyes open. Mark my words, complete lives system. No one in the New York Times will even know what that is, but you will, because we talked about it a year ago. It confirms everything that we said. Everyone denied this except for Fox News and a CNS reporter who actually asked Robert Gibbs about his confidence in Berwick's nomination considering his rationing comments. Showed it to you earlier. Here's the Gibbs response again.
Is there like a secret comment book that somehow you got that nobody else got, and you just read a couple of them to me, and somehow they wouldn't have come out? Did he say things like rationing happens today? The question is who will do it? Did he say that? Did he say that?
That was one comment.
Actually, that was Paul Ryan. That was Paul Ryan. Okay. He's a Republican in Congress.
He was prepared for this question. Marginalize, attack, secret. This is what's his name? The most dangerous man in America, Cass Sunstein. Cass Sunstein. Make him in to look like conspiracy theories. It's true. He's made it look into a conspiracy theory. And then he was armed with very specific Paul Ryan quotes. Wow. They were preparing a defense. They knew this wasn't going to be easy, so they forced him through and then prepared the defense. Marginalize, make him into conspiracy theorists, and notice how the press laughed. The White House said they wanted to avoid the political games and stall tactics of the Republicans, but the truth is the Republicans weren't stalling this hearing. The Republicans wanted this hearing. It only helps them to have a socialist rationing guy in charge of the health care for Medicare and Medicaid getting grilled. You think Grandma and Grandpa are going to like that one? I don't think so. Not one hearing was scheduled Not one hearing was called because the Democrats would be completely humiliated by this guy. And so it was they who were stalling. It was those guys that were avoiding. All this is proving is that Congress is becoming completely irrelevant. I told you this a year ago. Congress, please listen. One branch is eating all of the other branches. The government is going, the president is going around you. Too much executive power is no good. I don't care if it's George Bush or Ronald Reagan. Not so much power in one branch. When will someone in the media, and more importantly, people in Congress, start to realize this and actually start to stop it and report on it?